Judy was sitting behind the sofa. She felt all alone. Judy felt alone because she was mad at her mother. Her mother was mad at Judy, too. Judy had broken her mother's vase, a special vase from Aunt Elizabeth. So her mother was mad at Judy, and Judy was mad at her mother. That's why she felt all alone. The whole thing started because Buddy was going to John's house. "I want to go too," Judy said. "She can't go," said Buddy. "Yes, I can too," said Judy. "I'm going to ride my bicycle," Buddy said, "and you can't keep up." "I can too keep up. I can ride my tricycle and I can keep up," Mother said. "You can't go this time, Judy." John's mother invited Buddy, but she didn't invite you today. "She invited me," Judy insisted. "She invited you last week, remember?" Judy remembered. John's mother had given her 2 cookies with nuts in them. No, 3 cookies. Mother said, "John's mother invited you last week, but today Buddy is going and you will stay home with me." Buddy had gone. Judy stood at the window and cried when he went off on his bicycle. She kept on crying. "If you keep on crying like that," Mother said, "you'll probably give yourself a headache." It was then that Judy turned, grabbed up the ball bat Buddy had dropped on the floor. She pounded the rug with it. Her mother started toward her. Judy felt like being bad. She swung the bat high in the air and knocked Mother's special vase off the shelf. Special vase from Aunt Elizabeth. "You knocked that off on purpose," her mother said. Judy didn't answer. It was true, though. She had knocked it off on purpose. When she saw the broken pieces on the floor, Judy was almost sorry. But she still felt like being bad. She pounded the rug again with the ball bat. Her mother grabbed the bat very quickly. She didn't say anything. Judy didn't say anything either. Mother took the bat and walked out of the room very fast. Her mouth was pulled down. Her feet were heavy. That's when Judy crawled behind the sofa. She felt all alone. She could hear Marilyn and Ann calling to each other outdoors. She didn't want to go outdoors. Judy's kitten poked his nose around the back of the sofa. He came slowly closer. He sniffed her hand. Judy reached out to touch him. His back went up, his fur stood out, and he said "Sss" at her. He turned quick as a wink and bounced off, stiff-legged. Judy felt all alone. Buddy had gone. Her mother had gone. The kitten had gone. Judy put her head on the floor. She felt herself getting heavy, heavy. It seemed as if she would melt into the floor and be nothing but a rug. Afterward, she woke up. Someone had picked her up and laid her on the sofa. The broken pieces of the vase had been taken away, but the shelf looked very strange without the special vase on it. The house was very quiet. Judy still felt all alone. Judy got down from the sofa. Her mother wasn't in the kitchen. She wasn't in the bedroom. But there she was upstairs, sewing. When she saw Judy in the door, Mother laid down her sewing and held out her arms. Judy climbed onto her lap. Her mother stroked Judy's hair. "I'm sorry I broke it," Judy said. "That's my sweet little girl," Mother said, rocking a little. Judy's kitten poked his nose out from behind the sewing machine. He walked slowly over to them. He looked up at Judy and waved his tail. He jumped up on her lap. Judy stroked the kitten's fur. Mother rocked. It was better now. Nobody felt alone. Have you ever done something that you knew was wrong or bad? We can learn a lesson from Judy. When you don't do the right thing, you should say you're sorry. The good news is, like Judy's mother, our God will forgive you when you make a mistake or do the wrong thing. But we must remember to say sorry.